going back to our original agenda now. Okay. The second presentation for the day is going to be done by Yasas Abeywickrama. He is actually the CEO of Lanka BPO Academy. So most of us invariably work in foreign projects, whether we like it or not. So this is actually a good place, a good opportunity for us to learn about all the stuff that's happening behind the scenes, because we know, we as IT workers or industry workers basically know only a part of what's going on. So let Yasas give us an idea about what's going on in the back and here you go.
Hi guys. Can you?
Yeah. You can just put it in a pop-up. And okay, there you go. That's okay.
Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Yasas. Thanks to the organizers for giving us an opportunity. I'm going to talk to you about BPOs and clarify why we are talking about BPOs in a kind of an IT forum. There's a link to IT in BPOs, so I'll get to that as well. A bit of background about myself. I started working first for Virtusa in software engineering. I actually have a computer science background, although I talk about BPO today. And later I moved to become a business analyst at Virtusa, and later joined a company called Accenture. IT guys might have heard, happens to be the biggest ICT consulting firm in the world, and I was based in the Australian arm, if you like. And later we thought we need to start doing something about BPO training. I'll come to that later in my presentation. So anyway, a software engineer ended up in BPO training, but the surroundings and the industry requirements kind of pushed us to the situation. Apart from my working kind of things, I do a lot of writing activities as well. I have 2 columns at the moment going in 2 papers, one in the Island paper on every Monday around ICT and BPO, and another one in Silumina paper in Sinhalese. So I spend a bit of time writing as well, and occasionally get these type of opportunities to speak. So my agenda for today is I'll introduce BPO. Most of you might know, but I'll start from scratch and explain BPO, and then a bit of details about BPO industry in Sri Lanka, and then to my key topic, BPO talent development, and then the way forward as I see it. So BPO, business process outsourcing. So I'll start from very beginning. Outsourcing is to get someone else to do something for you. Okay, so if you can't do, say for example, providing food for this event, right? So Alok and Nasli, they don't cook this food and get it done for this event, right? So they outsource that. So if you're not good at something, or if you're not skilled enough to do something, or if you're not specialized enough to do something, you give it out. Okay, so that's the basic principle of outsourcing. So this happened in, say, cleaning, maybe food providing, then went into manufacturing. We see garment industry here in Sri Lanka, where we manufacture garments for US companies. So US companies have outsourced it to Sri Lanka. So that kind of trend moved into business processes as well. So it's not only in manufacturing and other things that I mentioned, but it moved into business processes. And it was kind of because of the cost reasons as well as the specialization reason. Okay, so if you could get something done from a third party at a cheaper cost, why not? Okay, so businesses run mainly because of the cost as well as the efficiency reasons. So if you can get it done for a cheaper price, you would outsource it. So it doesn't matter whether it's a manufacturing process, it could be a business process as well. So because of this, things started to get outsourced, and people found cheaper places to outsource. Initially it got outsourced to companies within your location, but then, as Alok was saying, we do foreign projects. What that means is, say, Western countries, US or European companies outsource work to countries like Sri Lanka and India, because we could offer almost the same service at a cheaper price. Okay. So basically business process outsourcing is about outsourcing certain business processes that a company does to a third party provider. And where it becomes very attractive to countries like Sri Lanka is this work comes from overseas countries. So it actually brings foreign income for us and also creates jobs in the industry that was not available in the local market, right? If we bring something from overseas, we actually bring new jobs, something that wasn't available in the local market. So that's the attraction for a country like Sri Lanka. So, and you might ask what type of work gets outsourced, and in today's BPO context, almost all types of work actually gets outsourced. I'll go through a list in a minute. Most of you probably are familiar with IT sort of outsourcing, where you get web development, maybe network support, technical support type thing. But then in business processes, it's gone into different areas like I've listed here. Things like finance and accounting. So a company in the US wants to maintain their financial accounts. So you have to enter financial data. Now, does it matter whether you enter it in the US or whether you enter it in Sri Lanka? Effectively not, right? So you can enter either place as long as the quality is met, as long as the skills of the people that do the work is good enough. So because of that, one example of BPO, business process outsourcing, is around financial accounting. And then Sri Lanka happens to be very good in financial accounting because we actually have good skilled people through CIMA qualifications as well as a few other accounting type qualifications. We've actually grown a professional skilled base where we can actually support that area. And another area is around data processing and forms processing. Say, for example, a bank, they want to process their credit card applications. So you have the form, people fill in their form and give the forms to the bank, and the bank needs to go through hundreds of these forms and decide whether a credit card can be given to certain people and what credit limit, etc., etc. Now, to you, it's your credit card application, but for the bank, they get hundreds of these, right? So you can, and it's fairly repetitive. You check certain criteria, and that can be outsourced to a certain to another location where you can get it done for a cheaper price. Another aspect that I couldn't mention earlier is when you outsource work in BPOs, you tend to outsource non-core activities. So the business concentrates on the core activities. The core business is done by the company, while non-core activities can be outsourced. Say, for example, data entry for a certain business is not their core business. They could be in banking, so you concentrate on banking and outsource non-core activities. It could be customer service. Now, all of us probably have heard about call centers and where we do customer service. Now, for a bank, customer service is very important, but then again, it's not their core business, right? So while you concentrate on core business, they can outsource customer service, which we call as a call center, which is part of business process outsourcing as well. And another area is medical transcriptions. Now, in Western countries, a doctor gives the details to a patient in voice, and which is recorded, but it has to be entered in a system saying this is the prescription given to the patient. Now, this is very time-consuming work, and in the US, it would take, say, $3,000, $4,000 a month for someone to do that. Now, why do you do it in the US? Outsource it to India or Sri Lanka, where you could get it done for a much cheaper price. As we know, the monthly salaries would be much lower than $3,000 or $4,000. So medical transcriptions is another area. And back office work as well. While you maintain the front office in that country, you can outsource back office work. It could be data entry, it could be certain documentation work, it could be again things like forms processing I mentioned with the credit card as well. And one last thing here I mentioned earlier as well, call centers. Now, some people think BPOs are call centers, but when you go through the whole list, it's a whole range of things business process outsourcing is about, it can be any business process. A business might have things like data entry, financial accounting, customer service, all that. Call center or customer service is only a part of it. And we also tend to look at it in two ways. BPOs, business process outsourcing, can be looked at in two ways. One is the voice-based one, which is the call center, where you actually talk to customers or provide customer service using voice. Whereas all the other things I mentioned, like data entry, financial accounting, all that could be non-voice as well. So that's another way of looking at it. But call centers is not just BPOs, it's part of BPOs.